Um, all right, good morning. Good morning, everyone. We're going to just jump into the session. A few more people may join us as we go. All right, and welcome to our pre-arrival session for exchange students. We're happy to see you. My name is Francesca Mancuso Silva, and I'm joined today by my colleagues Heidi Liu and Floranda Agram. And I'm really excited to welcome you, even though you haven't maybe formally arrived in London or at Western just yet. We're happy to have you here at this webinar and hope to provide you with some useful information before your arrival. The agenda for today, we're going to try and keep it short and sweet and allow time for questions and answers towards the end of the presentation. First and foremost, we want to welcome you, tell you a little bit about Western International and what you can expect in terms of the supports available to you as exchange students. We are also going to cover sort of important information specific to your exchange student journey. We'll talk a little bit about traveling to Canada and what to expect at the border, arriving in London at Western, making your way to campus. And then at the end, we'll give you a little bit more information about our International Student Orientation Program during the month of January. And finally, we'll end off with some common scams that we see international and exchange students particularly being targeted with. So we want to highlight that for you. If at any point in the presentation you have any questions, comments, concerns, just use the Q&A function at the bottom of your screen. We'll either answer the questions as we go, or we will get to them, like I said, at the end of the presentation. So anytime a question comes to mind, definitely use that Q&A button. You'll also see a poll just having popped up on your screen. Take a minute to just fill that out. We assume most of your exchange students, but just in case we have anybody else in the room. All right. So, like I said, first things first, welcome to Western. We really want you to think of Western International as your home away from home while you're in Canada. So our experienced team of staff and volunteers really work hard to ensure that your transition to Western, your time at Western, as smooth as possible, and that you have all the resources and support you need to succeed both academically and personally. So really, we want to just start off with that message. So that's our beautiful building right now. Recently, it was covered in snow. The snow has melted this week, but we're not sure what January will bring. We're located in the International and Graduate Affairs building. So when you go through the front doors, you're on the second floor, climb the stairs to the second floor, and there you'll find us. And Western International is the department comprised of a few different units. We provide student support. So the International Student Services team provides student support for international and exchange students. Oops. We have programming and activities that happen throughout the year, and we'll tell you more about that as we go. Of course, you're familiar with the Education Abroad colleagues. They're the ones who are helping you get to Western for your exchange. We also have International Relations and Partnerships and our Safety Abroad and Travel Registry. So at this point, I'm going to pass it over to my colleague, Floranda, and she's going to share with you some information specific to you as exchange students.
Good morning, everyone. So thank you so much, Francesca. My name is Florenda, and I'm going to be talking to you about some important information prior to your exchange. So you may have already spoken with a couple of us before through email or virtually, but we are a team of five. We are led by our director, Anjan, and myself, my colleague Anna, and Fran and Kiana are also international learning coordinators. So we do assist you with course registration, navigating kind of coming to Western. We've assisted you with your nomination procedure as well, and we're happy to welcome you to Western. So some of the important next steps that you need to do, which you already might have done, which is course selection and enrollment. So we have been working with a few of you in the summertime to get your courses enrolled for the winter term. So if you haven't already done so, please review the list of courses that are available for the upcoming the link for that in the nomination letter that you have received from us. If you still need that link, please send us an email. Once you log into One Experience, you can go ahead and select the courses that you would like to take. So we do that in the form of course picker. So you're going to request the courses that you want to take and then submit those course requests to us. Once you've submitted those course requests, please send us an email to Go Abroad. So even if you've already selected your courses, but you want to make any changes, please do the same process by logging into One Experience and then requesting new courses. The only way our team will know that you've requested new courses is if you send us an email. So just send us an email to goabroad@uwo.ca, and then we'll send those course requests to the respective departments. As you may know, it could take a couple of days to receive a response from the department. So be aware that it can take some time. So if you are requesting a course a little late into the term, you might not hear back prior to the last day for enrolling in courses. But when you are sending us an email, include your student number, the course that you want to take, the course number, and if there's a tutorial, include that tutorial number or lab number, and then make sure, of course, to include it in your course picker. So there are some important deadlines that we want to keep you aware of, which is the January 14th deadline. So this is going to be the last day to enroll in any winter term course. So if you want to enroll in a new course, that is the last day to enroll in that course. If you want to swap a course, it is also the last day. And it's also the last day to drop a course if you do not want it to appear on your transcript. So what does that mean? So if you drop a course after January 14th, it will appear on your transcript and it will say WDN, which refers to withdrawn. So if you do not want the WDN and that course to appear on your transcript, please request us to drop it, or you can drop it yourself on Student Center by January 14th. You will have until March 31st to drop that winter term course without any academic penalty. After that date, there will be an academic penalty. And then there are just a couple of upcoming events coming up for exchange students. So on January 7th, we will have the academic supports and important information for new students. That's going to be done virtually. You will receive information via email. And then we will have an exchange social and an FAQ for all the new and incoming exchange students on January 8th. So that will also be in our building, the one that Francesca shared. So previously we had our International Week, and then we do host an outbound social for our current students who are going abroad. And we always invite inbound students to connect with those students, because oftentimes you'll find students going to the same university that you're coming from, and they'd love to hear from you. So we previously had one in November, and we will have another one in March, which you'll be invited to. So if you have any questions at any time, don't hesitate to reach out. You can come to our office. We are located at the International Graduate Affairs Building, second floor, as Francesca mentioned. You can call us, or you can send us an email to goabroad@uwo.ca, and you can get in touch with any one of my colleagues or myself. And I'm going to pass it back off to my team at the IESC.
Okay. All right. Oops, I went ahead. One. Okay. Don't know why I can't go back here. Oops. There we go. All right. So as mentioned, the International Student Service Team works alongside our colleagues in the education abroad area. And our role is really to support you while you're here at Western. So we have a robust team. In fact, another team member has just joined us, Olivia, who is not on this slide, but we have a robust team of international student advisors as well as program coordinators who are here to support you and your journey. So I mentioned our international student advisors. If you need to see somebody around immigration advising, academic or financial concerns, cultural transitions, as well as, if you're having trouble while you're here navigating campus resources, including healthcare or any of that, our international student advisors are ready and willing to assist. We have drop-in support every day from 1 till 4 in our office. We also have online advising appointments, so you can have a one-to-one online advising appointment. And then we also have virtual advising. So all that information will get to you in email various ways and is on our website. I think Olivia shared in the chat the link to our advising services. Other programming for international and exchange students is, of course, orientation, which you are taking part in right now. One of our most popular events, especially for our exchange students, is our weekly Global Cafe. So a social gathering every single week in the IGAB atrium from 3 to 5 p.m. We provide coffee, tea, snacks, hot chocolate, there's different themes every week, games, and it's just an opportunity to connect with your fellow exchange students, other international students. People come every week or just come when your schedule allows. But it's a really nice place to meet new friends and sort of de-stress. The other thing we offer is an English conversation program. So you can sign up to participate in this 8-week program. You'll be matched with an ECP leader who is an upper year Western student who is going to facilitate sort of conversation circles with a small group of students. Mostly, again, an opportunity to connect with new people, but to learn some of that Canadian slang that you might not be familiar with, pop culture references, that type of thing. And then in the event that you're coming with a spouse or partner or family members, we also have a weekly gathering every Friday for them. We also offer various workshops related to immigration matters, working in Canada, cultural transitions, skill building throughout the year. So again, you'll watch out for your email, in your email, for details about that. I will note here that so far we've been communicating with you to your UWO email as well as your personal email. And once you get settled in January, that'll convert to only your Western email. So make sure that you're checking your Western email once you arrive. All right. At this point, I'm going to hand it over to my colleague Heidi to talk a little bit about traveling to Canada and what to expect.
Thank you, Francesca. Hello, everyone. So traveling to Canada, exciting. Go next slide. How do we go next slide? Okay, sorry, went too fast. Okay. So before you travel to Canada, what to pack, right? So if you come from a quite warmer country, right? Welcome to winter. This is January, right? That is supposed to be coldest month in Canada. So the average daily temperature could be, as low as, minus 15 to minus 30 degree. And the snowfall, don't want to scare you too much, but it could be as deep as for like 25 centimeters. So you do want to dress in layers, like wear sweaters, and also winter jackets or winter coats. Try to purchase some like high quality outerwear that will get you through the whole winter. And boots for sure. Scarves and gloves. So all of this just to keep you warm in winter. You may also want to bring some of the light bed linens. So in Canada, inside of the house, apartments, it's quite warm comparing to outside, pretty cold weather. So inside, it's actually pretty warm. So you don't want to bring too thick bed linens, light ones, or if you want to come here first and then see how it goes and then purchase from locally, that's also fine. And of course, your laptop, your any of your tech items, headphones, chargers, of course, books, your favorite books, and also medications, right? If you you may want to bring your prescription, just a copy of that, just for quick reference or convenience for the doctors here. Toiletries. So again, these are just for to quickly start your life here in Canada, just in case if you arrive in Canada like at nighttime, you don't have time to go shopping. So having those can come very handy. If you also want to bring some of your, like, again, some of your favorite stuff that help you to remind of your house, your home, your home country, right? So maybe, oops, did I talk too long on this? It automatically goes to the next slide. Okay, and some of your favorite snacks that you can also bring with you. And you may want to have some sort of, Wi-Fi calling. Like, when you get to Canada, most of places do have Wi-Fi. But if your phone also have some sort of remote plan, maybe that can also tide you through when there's no Wi-Fi. And also for documentation, documents for arrival. And we will talk about what to pack, especially for documents. Maybe keep a folder with all of your documents to keep it handy with you. And some cash, credit card that you can use in Canada, that would be good. Okay. Okay. And then to travel to Canada as an international student, so I'm sure you must have already have either a valid ETA if you come from visa exempt country, or a visa if you come from a visa required country. So these are your entry documents. For those of you who are here for more than 6 months, just in case, first of all, you do not require a study permit, but in case if you did apply for a study permit, you may have this letter of introduction. So just carry this letter of introduction with you when you arrive at the border. And for students who may come from another designated learning institution in Canada, you must apply for a new study permit, even if your current study permit is still valid. So that's just a new policy. But for those of you who do not even need a study permit, do not worry about this. Okay. When you arrive at the border, a border officer will make the final decision to check your documents and to determine whether you are eligible to enter Canada. Okay. Okay. So when you arrive at the border, the CBSA, Canada Border Services Agency officer will look at several factors. Mostly, they could ask you what's the reason for entering Canada, right? So you are here for your exchange studies, and the timing of your arrival. So if you're arriving for January, it's a good timing. And for like any supporting documents, they may also request your passport, of course, letter of introduction. Again, this is only for those students who have applied for study permits. Then you will have a letter of introduction, but otherwise, do not worry about this letter. You do want to carry the letter of acceptance from international learning team. So that shows your basically your purpose of coming to Canada is to study as an exchange student. Proof of funds. So you do not necessarily carrying all the cash, right? But somewhere, somehow showing that you do have access to sufficient funds that is recommended. Health insurance is basically after you arrive in Canada, the UHIP will be effective after you arrive. And when you arrive, again, this is most common when you arrive in most countries, right? You need to claim if you have food, plants, animal products, and if you carrying cash for more than $10,000, you need to declare to the border officer. So when you arrive at the Toronto airport, from Toronto airport to London, there are a couple of options that you can take. Robert Q is one of the most common transportation. And when you book for Robert Q, make sure you select as a student to receive a discounted rate. There's also driver's seat. So this one is good for if you are traveling along with your families. So it has more space for extra luggages and car seats for younger ones. BusBud, there's a link there as well. So you can check out, of course, all of these three options. And from London Airport, if you do take a transfer flight from Toronto Airport to London Airport, and then from London Airport to where you are going to stay, you can either just call a taxi or Uber, Lyft. So all of these are just options for, okay. So arriving on campus. Thank you. So you may want to arrange for like a short-term accommodation upon arrival, right? So if you're not living on campus, so hopefully you have already arranged for a short-term accommodation. And also for like, again, I'm not sure if you guys have done this, but if you haven't done the move-in request, let me just go back one more slide. Okay. So if you have not done that, then if you want to apply for early move-in, then via My Housing Portal or email housing@uw.ca. And off-campus housing services is also great services. If you do plan to live off campus, they can help you to check out the houses that you are interested in. So this is really good for, if there's any big issues that you cannot really tell from the pictures. And also be conscious of the fraudulent listings if you're arranging housing on your own. After you arrive on campus, please check out the new student checklist. So it's on our website. Basically, you want to complete required trainings, and I think it's called Bright Space now, instead of OWL. And then pay any outstanding tuition fees, get your Western One student card, apply for a social insurance number. So applying for social insurance number is cost free. So um, some of you are like, I'm not gonna claim taxes here. But in the case, if you are eligible to work in Canada, you do want to apply for a social insurance number because that will allow you to work in Canada and also for tax purposes. So anyway, social insurance number is free. You can apply for a social insurance number if you do have the conditions on your study permit. And of course, if you need to update your address, right? So do this through your student center account. Meet with us, one of our international student advisor. We do have new students check-ins during the first month for January. So feel free to come in to talk to one of our advisors. And of course, register for international student orientation events and programs. And I'm sure Francesca will talk more about those orientation programs and events. Over to you, Francesca.
All right. So orientation, designed to really help set you up for success, as I mentioned, academically and more importantly, socially. So we want to have opportunities to make new friends, learn about campus resources, understand your extended health plan, and then get reminders about your status in Canada. So I'm going to go over what we're offering for orientation. As you know, your orientation begins now. You're part of this webinar, which is the first step. Our goal is to give you a compass to help you navigate a new academic environment and cultural environment. So once you arrive, you'll have access to our welcome center. We hope you stop by. Really, that is so that we can say hello to you in person, give you a little gift, a welcome gift, some Western swag that you can take home with you and use while you're here. So we hope to see you at our Welcome Center. The first day will be Saturday, January 4th from 10 to 1, and then the whole following week, January 6th to 10th, 10 to 1 as well. Throughout the month of January, we'll also offer a 3-part webinar series on various topics, and I'll get to that detail in a minute. As Heidi mentioned, you also have the opportunity to meet one-on-one with an international student advisor if you have any questions or concerns that you want to address privately. And then more importantly, the social aspect. So we have a campus tour event on the Saturday, January 4th. We'll have our new student celebration dinner, so a full meal with all new students. As I mentioned, our weekly global cafe, international student family lunch, and then as Florenda also mentioned, there's the exchange FAQ and social specific for exchange students. If you haven't already checked them out, we have also our pre-arrival welcome modules on our website. So again, it goes through services and supports available from us as well as across campus. There's some useful information about academic values, academic culture that might be different from what you're used to in your home country. There's a section about housing and tips for living in London. Again, there might be different rules here than in your home country. We also talked about healthcare, health insurance, and staying well in Canada. So that's all available anytime on our website. And And so we encourage you to explore those modules if you haven't done so already. As I mentioned, the Welcome Center will be open on those dates in the Chew Center, which is just outside of our office on the second floor of the International and Graduate Affairs building. The three-part webinar series that I mentioned, those are the topics. So the first part is academic supports. Second part is all about health and wellness and staying safe on campus and online. And then towards the end of the month in January, we'll also cover living in London, adjusting to life at Western, how to get more connected. As exchange students, you're here for a short period of time. So we recognize that you want to do all the things and maximize your experience. So definitely tune into those webinars if are interested. More opportunities to connect, as mentioned, the Exchange Social event on January 8th. If you haven't already registered for that, please do so. Our first special edition Global Cafe will have some campus partners attending to provide information and resources as well. And all the actually little global cafes in January will include guest appearances by campus partners who are looking to share more about how they can help during your time at Western. The New Student Celebration dinner is a more of a formal dinner where we'll have a City of London representative as well as senior administration here from Western International to welcome you. You might receive information about other orientation tools at your disposal. So the Western Launch module, Start Smart Academics, Start Smart Learning. If you get any information about these, it might seem overwhelming because there's a lot of information coming at you, but try your best to take advantage of all the resources and supports available to you. And then a quick note on scams. I know that's not a good segue, but a quick note on scams. We've just seen recently, especially, that new international and exchange students are being targeted in some cases by but people who want to steal your money or just fool you in terms of whether it's housing and rental or via email. We've had some exchange and international students fall victim to scams. And so really the message here is if you're a victim of a scam, don't try and resolve or address the issue on your own. Western Special Consulable Services can help support you if it happens on campus or if it's off campus, the London Police Service. So some common scams we see targeting students are selling fake products. So your social media may know, it's always listening, that you're coming to Canada and you're settling in London. You might receive fraudulent ads or emails selling fake phones, headphones, projectors, things that settle in perhaps. So definitely check the model and serial numbers to make sure they're legitimate. Definitely try and buy through reputable retailers. I know students oftentimes like to buy secondhand from Marketplace. Our suggestion is that if you're buying secondhand items, that you meet in a public place and that you see the product before you hand over money. So never send money virtually before seeing or meeting the person in a public space. You might also receive emails offering, investments in cryptocurrency, that type of thing. Again, we've seen students fall victim to this one. And so just keep an eye out. If something sounds too good to be true, it often is. Also, international exchange students often receive phone calls from people pretending to be the government of Canada, asking for your personal information or SIN number, credit card over the phone. So rest assured that the government will never do that. So again, if you get a phone call and you're unsure about it, the best thing to do is to tell them, can I call you back? And if they're not able to provide a specific number for you to call back and to verify, then it's probably a scam. So, as mentioned numerous times during this presentation, we really encourage you to reach out to us if you have any follow-up questions. If there's anything that we didn't cover today that you were curious about, that you were hoping to get an answer to, number one, put it in the Q&A, and so we'll get to that next, or send us an email at isc@udo.ca. All right, so I don't know if there's any